The police are the public, and the public are the police. The police being the only members of the public who are paid to give full-time attention to duties which are incumbent on every citizen in the interest of community welfare and existence. Robert Peel. I personally believe that all people who receive food stamps and other federal and state support should be required to go through a form of drug testing before they are able to receive the funding and help. As a citizen in the United States, I am one day going to be required to pay taxes with my own hard-earned money. This money is going to various things that do benefit our country, such as infrastructure. However, some of my hard-earned money goes to people that get funding to provide for their families and themselves in the United States. I personally have family members that receive welfare in the form of food stamps. However, I don't know if they should. These certain family members have been arrested multiple times for drug use, drunk driving, and even child neglect. Now, close your eyes and imagine this. You're driving to work one day, going to your 9 to 5, contemplating what bills you're going to be able to pay and what you're not going to be able to pay this month because you can't afford what you currently have. However, you drive past an alley and see that there are two people back there exchanging some form of money and what looks to be a package. However, you just go on about your day because it's not affecting you. So, as the day goes on, you realize that you have little food at home and you must go to the store later that day and purchase some food. Well, as you walk in the store, you see a familiar face, but you don't exactly know where it's from. Well, you go about the store, get what you need, and come up to the checkout line. And you get behind that familiar face again. Well, you start talking to the person and realize that it's actually the person you saw earlier that day in the alley. And they tell you about their history with drug use and how they've been unemployed for a substantial amount of time. Now, you have this little basket here that has enough food to last you 1, maybe 2 days, and you're worried about if you're going to be able to afford it. However, they have a buggy full of food that is being provided to them, technically, from me. I'm going to convince you on why drug testing should be required in order to receive food stamps and other federal funding. First, I will discuss how many people are on federal stamp funding through a program known as SNAP. Then I will discuss what laws have been put in place in order to know more about how people are trying to prevent the problem of fraud. And finally, what I believe should be implemented in the future. Before we have the ability to use our own prejudice about the system, it is good to know how many people are benefited from them. Many people are affected by the welfare stamps that are given out, and not all of these people are bad. However, there are two major flaws in the welfare system that create talk for various new restrictions of the program. Currently, there are roughly 9.5 million families that are supported by a program called SNAP, which stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. SNAP is only one of the organizations that supports families in need. However, some of these families are taking advantage of the system that is in place. SNAP is intended to be a short-term program that helps families get back on their feet. However, there are many people that use this on a long-term scale, which in turn causes for people that are paying taxes to have more of their hard-earned money taken away from their pockets. Another major flaw in the system is that families are given money based off of how many children are in a household in the foster system. This has been twisted by many in order to gain money from organizations such as SNAP and other organizations and companies. Foster parents are given a set amount of money for groceries every single month. This means that any of the dollars that these families receive as income are kept purely as profit. Therefore, these people are essentially being paid by the common taxpayer that can barely make ends meet. Is this fair to the economy of the United States? Is this fair to the people that have worked so hard for the little that they have? Is this something that we can allow to happen to innocent people in today's society where equality and fairness is wanted for all. There are many questions to be asked about the fairness of the process and the people that mistreat it. However, some people and places have begun to work on limiting the impact that is made by those who misuse the system. Various states have put laws into place that have allowed for some of these mistreatments to be better caught or prevented. Various states have passed laws that allow for drug testing of participants in the SNAP programs as well as other programs. Roughly 20 states have proposed or passed bills that allow for them to test at random for drugs and other substances of participants within a program. However, there has been a fight within certain states to determine whether or not this violates the rights of people for unreasonable search. People also have the right to have private investigators to see if someone is performing welfare fraud. This simply means that there's the ability to have a suspicious home or family looked into to determine whether or not there may be some form of welfare fraud or other illegal action being performed. Knowing that changes are being made for the good of things allows for me to have more hope in the future of this system. So, what do I hope the system looks like in the future? I have my own personal vision for the future of the welfare system, and I believe that it is one of the great things that helps people within the USA. In the future, I hope that there are an abundance of opportunities for people who need the welfare system that I am personally able to help out. I believe that drug testing and testing for other substances should be required in order to better assure that the people who are receiving help truly do need it for reasons that they can't control. I believe that the process of gaining food stamps or welfare credit should be intensified from the criminal aspect of things. I think that people who have any small infraction that could have possibly resulted in the harm of others or the harm of themselves should be, or have even been prosecuted harder, do not deserve to have the opportunity to get free food. And if a person is unable to provide for their children, they should be required to turn them into social services until they are able to have the conditions that are required for a young child. I also believe that the process to become a certified foster parent should be intensified. My family has personally been through the process, and I believe that there are various things that can be improved upon. Things that do not have to do with the safety of a home, but tests to ensure that parents of these foster homes are doing things for the correct reasoning and not just to get money. There are many and positives to the welfare system. And I believe that subtle changes can make a big difference. There are many problems that face the welfare system. Although there are things being done to prevent these problems, I personally believe that small changes can make a large difference. Many people are taking advantage of the welfare system, and if we are not the generation to do something about it, then life would be unbearable for those in the future. If you know someone who is taking another person's money, or even your money, let me ask you the question on the screen. Are you willing to make a difference? Thank you.